Hey gang, Michael Daniels here. How y'all doing? I wanted to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We're going to go over some Gmail and inbox stuff. So sit back and let's have some fun. Alrighty, here we go. Let's kick this off. Let me introduce who we got here. Go ahead, Andrew. Oops, hold on. Rolling again. Yes, Andrew, go ahead.
You've got a bit of an echo going.
I do? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
No worries, I can fix that.
Yeah, I know. It's your voice meter volume.
It probably is. There we go. Is that better? Can you hear now? Still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's
What about now?
that barrel now.
Does it really?
Mm-hmm.
Right now. Still?
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll just have to deal with it. Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe it's a hangout thing. Anyway, tonight I have with me Andrew Hatchett, who will be doing comments and stuff. Andrew, say hello to everyone.
Good evening, everybody.
And then we have Scott Greenstone, was kind enough to come out and talk to us a little bit about inbox and everything. Hopefully the echo goes away, but if it doesn't, it's probably just a hangout thing. But Scott, say hello to everyone.
Hi there. How is everybody doing?
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to say we're going to kick it off and get this thing going. I'm going to show you a couple of views throughout the show. I will be going from Gmail to show you the old way and inbox to show other ways, and I'm going to go through and show possibly on mobile what it looks like. So just sit back, relax, and ask all the questions you want. Like I said, Andrew's going to put some up there, so we'll ask those afterward, but we're going to have a little bit of an overview, talk about what inbox is, and then we'll go from there and show some pointers. So, Scott?
All right, so I just want to give you guys a little background. I'm a Google top contributor in Gmail and Inbox, as well as Project Fi, and I'm a rising star in Google Play. So I've got a lot of experience with Gmail and Inbox. Been using Inbox since the day it was released, and I jumped all in, and I really only go back to Gmail when I'm supporting users in the product forums to check and see what they're doing. So I'm an inbox guy all the way now. And one of the things that we hear a lot, or we get questioned a lot on the forums, is Gmail. Just to make it clear for everyone, Gmail and Inbox are using all the same data. They're just user interfaces and manage the emails differently. So anything you're doing in Gmail is going to happen in Inbox, and anything you do in Inbox is going to happen in Gmail. Inbox is a much cleaner, in my eyes, a much cleaner interface. It's not as dated looking. It's material design, which is, it's got the spectrum of the school of thoughts on that. Some people love it, some people hate it. I find it makes it much easier to get through everything and get out. So
just to clarify, I just want to re-emphasize what you're saying here. There's no difference really in Inbox and Gmail for the final result of what's going to happen with your emails. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Except for the new features in Inbox, let you do a little bit more that you can't do.
Gotcha, exactly. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, good. All right, you ready to kick it off?
Yeah, let's go right into show everybody an Inbox.
All right, I'm going to cut right in. Yep, that's right. Let me cut right into so you can see the screen here. This is what the Inbox screen looks like.
Now,
and go ahead. You talk and I'll...
As you can see, Michael has trouble getting to Inbox 0. There's a lot in here. It goes all the way back to January. So on the left-hand side is where your menu is. and this is where all your what are called labels or bundles, and a new feature that just launched a week or two ago is you can hide that menu by just clicking on the arrow on the hamburgers, and you can bring it back in.
Hamburger menu. A lot of people don't know that, but the 3 lines is a hamburger menu.
Yes, I've heard of hamburger, and I've actually heard people call it the hot dog menu. To me, it's 3 vertical or horizontal lines. So on the top, you'll see the search box, which you'll notice does not have a little caret, like in classic Gmail. There's no little drop-down arrow to open up an advanced search, but what's great about it is anything you can do advanced search in Gmail works in this search box here. So you could do any combinations of things just like there. To the right of that is a pin button. So pin is a similar function to star, but I'm sorry, it's not a similar function, but a similar purpose of star. You can pin your emails to stay in your inbox no matter what you do. And if you want to just show only the items that are pinned and nothing else, you would just turn that button on. And there you go. Everything else goes away, and you can see just the pinned items. The next icon, that's your Hangouts chat, which you can open up Hangouts right in Inbox, and you can even keep it open. What's the word? I want to say anchor it. So if you, at the very bottom,
right here, a little arrow.
Yeah, you can anchor
Dock
it.
it.
Dock
Use
it.
the
That's
word
the word.
dock.
That's the word I was blanking on. And it can always stay open. I find that when you have that and the menu open at the same time, you got not a lot of real estate to work with.
Right. It can be kind of cumbersome, I guess.
Yeah. Then you got the nine square standard Google menu, and your Mr. Jingles on the right.
Mr. Jingles notifications. There you go.
So then, if you look in the main screen, you're going to have everything broken up into. It's usually going to be today, tomorrow, last week, last month, and it's grouped by that. And you can do large-ish activities on each section. You can't do it on your entire inbox. So if you see to the right of today, you'll see a checkbox with 3 lines. That's your sweep. So you can, anything that's not pinned in that section, you can sweep to being done automatically.
Right here is the 3 marks that you're talking about. I'll hover over it again. There we go. And it says sweep, which is mark unpinned items as done. There we go.
So that's a great feature. If you could scan all the emails in that section, or bundle if they're bundling in the inbox, and there's nothing I need to do with any of them. You can get rid of them, put them right into your get them out of your inbox, and done them.
Now I am going to real quickly just show on mobile phone. This is my mobile phone where I have the exact same thing. You can see it's the inbox, and I can sort of scroll it. There you go. You can see, and it's all the similar things that he's talking about.
Right.
And I will let me zoom in on that so you can kind of see a little closer, make it a little easier for you to see. But same thing. We got the 3 little lines. I think that's one of the reasons why. I mean, you can verify that, or just your thoughts on it too. But I think this is why they're switching things around to make things more common with mobile and computer.
I think that's one of the concepts of material design.
Mm-hmm.
To make everything consistent.
You have a lot of the same things. You have the pin, you have the hamburger menu, you have all those kind of things. So those are the key things there. But anyway, okay, I'll go back. I just want to let people see that it is kind of similar. But go ahead.
Yeah. So and we'll take a look at this first email that says Business Hangouts. You see right there, without even opening it, you can pin it because there's a pin next to it. But right now it's not pinned. You can tell because it's not blue.
So if I pin it, now it's pinned.
Right, and you'll see on the right, it went to pin. Why did that show up?
Unpin. Unpin, and then pin to inbox.
Yeah. The next icon is you could snooze your email. So you look at it real quick. I don't need to deal with this until Friday. Click on that, and
Oh,
you're
wow, that's so weird.
yeah.
The graphic's doing strange. And I don't know why.
That is strange.
Okay, there we
There you
go.
go.
I
So
don't
you
know
can
why.
snooze, and if you see tomorrow, it's always going to be tomorrow morning, or next week is always Monday at whatever time you set to be the morning, which are things you can set. You can set morning, afternoon, and evening times for your snooze.
Okay, so I can go, okay, wow, I don't know why it's going away. Pick a date and time and change it? Is that
You
what
can
you're
pick a
saying?
date and time to change it, but you can also set what those default times are.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah,
can, under settings, I'm sure.
correct.
So Friday, and I want to change it to the afternoon, 1 p.m., I can do that. Or if I want to
Right.
manually change it, I can change it. Make it custom,
You,
right?
yeah, do custom and just enter the time.
Okay.
I actually
Very
prefer
good.
the way they design the custom time on the mobile because it's a clock, and
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
it's a lot easier.
I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. So the next thing is the checkbox, which is you're done with the email. If you can done it without even looking at it. You can done it when it's open. Um, Dunning does not mark it as read, which is a lot of people have an issue with. Um, I could care less if anything's marked red or not, but that's my preference. As long as it's not in my inbox, I'm happy.
I hear you.
So marking as done is similar to archiving in Gmail.
There you go. Just marked it as done, which was fine. That one was fine being done.
And then if you see on the right of this, there's 3 dots. That's where you can move your emails to another bundle, to spam, or trash.
And they're using the word bundle instead of labels. Is that right or no?
Well, I've actually had kind of heated discussions with other top contributors about this. They're called bundles, but they argue that it's only considered a bundle when it's in the inbox. It's a label when it's elsewhere.
Gotcha.
To me, it's semantics, and it confuses. I like to just stick with bundle.
Okay.
And if I saw you had a bundle in your inbox somewhere, you had updates. I think you had. It was lower.
Yeah, updates.
Well, that's removing it. Don't move this one there.
Okay.
If you close this menu, and then I thought you had a lower down in the inbox. Do you have anything after December?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, just reminders.
Oh, you just have reminder. Okay. So you can have your bundles show in your inbox as things are coming in, and you can activate, or you can do any of these tasks to the whole bundle. And we'll get more into bundles in a minute. But so if you open one of these emails, I'm not sure if there's anything personal.
Let me go to this one. This one's just talking about the tournaments that we have. Okay.
So here you have the same options. But now you've actually marked this email as read by opening it. You can, if you on that first one, the SC district, you see the caret on the right.
Yes.
Drop that down. You now have a menu inside that particular email. So you can reply forward and do a couple of other things just with that email in the thread. The only thing you cannot do that you can do in Gmail is delete individual emails in a thread.
Oh, okay.
So if you
can do any one of those things. Okay, I got you.
Now, and then and that print thing, you cannot currently print an entire conversation. You can only print each individual message in the conversation.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the whole thread will not print.
Right, they're working on that.
Okay. Because I know people like to do that.
Right. So now you can also, you see the little picture of the profile picture of the email on the left? You hover over that, it becomes a checkbox. If you check it, you'll see at the very top of the screen a bunch of options will show up. You see a trash can, a pin. So this is where if you wanted to select more than one email, so now that they're all checkboxes, you can select more than one and do the same activity.
Oh, to all
to
of them.
all of them.
Okay.
The only thing you
can
cannot do is
group them
select.
into...
There's no select all. And
Okay, but
they're trying to figure out a way to implement that, but my guess is the reason they can't, or they haven't figured it out yet, is because it's really scary to do a select all action on a non-finite list.
right.
So, like if you looked at your done list, it's not one page. It just keeps going and going and going.
Right. So you
And
don't want to...
you can really do some damage with a select all
That's true.
on that. So one of the coolest new features that they just came out with 2 weeks ago, they got rid of the travel label, which from Gmail, and they introduced trips. Do you happen to have any trips that
I
it
do
built?
not. I don't believe I do. No.
No. Like,
I don't really take trips.
are you able to share my screen?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, I'll just do a screen share, and what I'll do is I'll highlight you. That's fine. I'll bring you right up on screen. And go ahead and take your lower third off. There's a little cog wheel next to your name and a camera in Business Hangouts. If you take off your lower third, there you go. Perfect. Now you're good to go.
All right, so you're showing my screen now?
Yeah, just do a normal screen share.
A
normal way you do in a Hangout, up in the left-hand side, you have the green box and the white arrow. There we go. Give it a second, and now you're there. Okay.
I don't see it.
You won't.
Oh, so can you see my trips now?
I can.
All right. So here's all my trips. They bundle them all together. Somehow they have an algorithm that's looking at your emails and puts everything together and names it. So we'll go to this one. It finds a picture from somewhere. Here's all my flight information, and all my related emails to it are right here. So it's a really neat feature, and on the day that you're traveling, this trip will come into my inbox and show me the flight status, and it'll update in real time. So it'll tell me if it's delayed. It'll come in all my hotels, and any activities that I book in advance for this trip would show up. It's a really neat feature.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The only thing that they left out a couple of things, but they're working on it. Like you can't add an email to a trip. You can only remove it. And they're running into problems with that. So let me see what's in my inbox. So I've got these bundles, like they're what they're called labels. Gmail right here is a bundle, and I have one email in it. So I can open that bundle, and it shows me the name of the bundle and all the emails that are new in it, and I can act upon everything or individually. I could change the settings, which this is where my filter is, that I'm going to put everything from this email address into that bundle, and I could set it to always bundle to show in the inbox as they come in, once a day at 7 o'clock in the morning, and once a week, which is Mondays. I hate the 7 o'clock in the morning time. But, it's just the wrong time for me. I'd rather it be like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And they're working on customizing that, but right now it's not available. And then here's my, this is a system one. It automatically puts these in here. They're all the same, and you can get to settings for each one right by highlighting and clicking on the gear.
So each of those different things has a gear next to it, basically.
Correct.
So you can. There's some you can't change, like obviously scent and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
But any of your bundles you can change. Is that correct?
Correct. To an extent.
Right. I got you.
Like you can't change any of these icons.
Right.
You can't. This one's. I don't even understand this low priority one. It's basically it's the same to me as my my purchase. No, I think it's my purchases one. No, my promos. It's all the same stuff.
I got you.
So here I have some labels that I just play with, just for testing, for helping people. They're unbundled, so you could see like it's unbundled. I can't even bundle it in the inbox because I don't have any filters set. It won't let me show it in the inbox because it doesn't know what to show. So you could have a label that you move things manually if you wanted.
I see. So it gives you the option to bundle or not bundle, but you have to get it from settings in order to set it.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can create new bundles right here.
Okay.
And settings, here you can also turn, now the ones that, see, I can't even set these here.
Right.
But I can, this is kind of a duplicative setting because you can do it right from here.
I got you.
They just added this 2 weeks ago, a signature. It's a basic signature with very little formatting, no images. But you see, this is a bad example because it puts this in. I'm using Y stamp for my signature, and Y stamp works in inbox, so I keep that off so it doesn't mess it up.
I got you. Okay.
Here is where you would set your custom snooze times. And other is you turn on and off the keyboard shortcuts, which I'll show you. I'll show you in a second. They're all very, very similar to the Gmail keyboard shortcut. This I'm not really understanding why apparently people asked for this feature, so they're all in with inbox and they don't use Gmail anymore. This made it so if you go to the Gmail URL, it automatically redirects you to inbox. Now the only reason I can think of that is if you come to the Google page, there's a Gmail.
Right.
That'll bring you right to inbox if you have it set up.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna pull a couple comments. I'm gonna pull a couple comments up real quick.
Okay.
All right, first one. So any of the operators, let me just make sure, and here I'll select me. So any of the operators in Gmail will work in inbox. Is that correct? That's Mark Ferris asking that.
Mark, when you say operators, are you referring to the search operators?
If that is the case, just let us know, and we will get back to you on that. The other question, real quick, I'm going to bring up is, so if you can't bundle something, it remains a label. Scott Greenstone, is that correct?
Essentially, yes. That is kind of true.
That's what it's supposed to do. Let's put it that way, right?
Right. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Okay. Alrighty, do you want to go back to mine now and look at mine, or you want to stay on yours, or what are we going to do?
Let me I'll just finish these up. There's just some. This one's kind of not necessary, but they just introduced this because a lot of people it's so hard to delete. It's so hard to delete. So they changed this. They made it to what your action when you're done with messages, what you do. So I'll show you real quick in my inbox. This email you see there's a checkbox here, because that's what I'm going to do when I'm done. I mark it as done. But if I change that setting to move to trash, when I come here now, it's a trash can.
Oh, yeah, it changes the whole icon.
Right. But you could still move to done from the menu. So it basically swapped trash and done in this menu.
Okay.
I have not deleted a single email since I switched to inbox. I just don't find it necessary.
Interesting. And you search. Search is a big thing.
Yes, I'll
I
find
mean,
anything.
that's
Like,
why I mean, I think you were talking to me about that as well, is that you really don't use labels anymore either, just because
Right.
you can search for everything.
Right. Now here's everything that we've talked about, or that you might be in. And then so there's a few here you'll see down here that's just it's matching on Michael, because these 4 are the only ones that I have that involve you.
Gotcha. That's nice. So it still uses the same shortcuts for search.
Yeah, like I could do before.
Right. Such and such date or whatever.
And I can do before. And after.
Nice. So it's normal search stuff. That's great. I'm glad. Operators, I think they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
Very
are all.
nice.
Yeah. And it always breaks everything out as top results, and then all results.
Nice. All right, real quick, I'm going to go over to another question because it just popped up. Scott, why use inbox versus Gmail, or do you use both, and why? Or do you use both? I think.
I am 100% inbox, except I do go back to Gmail for when I'm supporting in the help forums. Why do I use inbox? I've never in my life been able to get to inbox 0 in Gmail. I now do it multiple times a day with inbox.
Explain to them.
That's because of the reminder features, the snooze features, and the dunning. I have basically what I'm doing is I'll look at an email. If it requires an answer, I answer it. If I'm not sure, I snooze it to tomorrow.
Gotcha.
If like all my bills, for example, I'll snooze them to Sunday night because that's when I'm doing my bills.
You can take screen share off too, by the way. I meant to tell you that, but that's hit the green button. There you go. Okay.
And so that email that I snooze to tomorrow, I come back tomorrow, and if I'm still not sure, I'll snooze it again to the next day. And then the next day, if I'm still not sure, I mark it done, because if after 2 days I don't know if I need it, I don't need it.
I got you.
And if it comes back to bite me, I'll search for
it. I see. No, that's great stuff. I mean, that's a great. When you told me about the bills thing on Sunday, the way you do it, I just thought that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that, because that's a key thing. Being able to snooze and put stuff in different areas and stuff, and to do it on your mobile phone to make it more consistent. I think that's all those things play into it. So I think it's great. So let me real quick. I'll pull up one from Prima is joining us tonight. She says, "Do the changes made in inbox ripple into Gmail?"
Everything you do in either one is reflected in the other. What may be different is what it's called. So, for example, the items in done in the inbox are all mail. in Gmail
Okay.
for the most part. Um, there's
I
some
think also like for example, they don't have trips over in Gmail, so they're not. There's going to be
right.
some things that are just not going to be the same. It's not like you're going to lose any emails,
No.
or Gmails or anything that comes in. But I think what it is just a way of organizing them a lot more organized
Yeah.
fashion. In an organized fashion is really the way it is, and
Right.
more susceptible to the your iPhone or your iPad or your all the mobile stuff that's out there too. I think that's why they're going to a lot of the different
Yes.
features.
Yes.
My guess. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Can you also let's see put this one up on screen? Can you prioritize snoozes? So if you have more than one snooze for the same time, can you prioritize them? I guess is
If
my
if
guess
you
is
have more than one snooze for 10 o'clock on Friday
right.
morning, at 10 o'clock Friday morning, they all will show in your inbox. Um, I've never looked and tried to figure out if there's an order to them, and not sure if they're based on which one you snoozed first or if it's alphabetical. Uh, but that's a good question. I will take a look on Sunday night when all my bills come back.
but with that answer, it is a fact that they will all be there though.
Right.
Whether they're prioritized or not, they'll still be there. And if you're doing what you were asking about, getting to what do you call it? Something zero.
Inbox zero?
Inbox zero. Inbox zero means nothing showing there. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what your goal is. As long as you have something that shows up, it might be 4 things that you put on 10 o'clock. I think they'll all just be there at 10 o'clock. The 11 o'clock ones won't show till 11, I guess. I mean, I'm guessing.
Right. Right.
There you go.
Although I'm working with somebody in the forum that their snoozed items are coming exactly 24 hours before the time they snoozed them to, and we can't figure it. It's just one person. We can't figure out why. It, it's like we checked all the time zone settings, everything, and it's like.
All right, this is a really good question, especially nowadays and with so many different accounts and stuff. What happens if you have Gmail set to pick up mail from other accounts or send mail using other email servers?
Great question, and I'm going to share you my screen.
Okay.
I have a ton of emails that I check, and here they
Different
all are.
accounts.
Here they all are. I can send them from inbox. They all come into inbox, just like they were coming in to my
Gmail.
Gmail.
Okay. So, and how did you access that, or is it just? I mean, how do you make that happen? I guess is there a setting or
You have
something?
to set it up. It's if it's set up in Gmail, it's reflected in inbox.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing you
Okay.
need to do to activate it. So like a lot of people are complain that you can only use inbox with at Gmail accounts or business Google Apps accounts. And well, why can't I use it with my Yahoo account? You can if you set it up as a POP import.
Oh, over in Gmail. Okay.
If you set it up in Gmail, it'll work
Okay.
in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to know. All right, let's see what this is. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. That was Andrew that asked that one. That's fine.
Oh.
Okay, so it says, okay, so they both reflect each other and update each other.
Correct.
Scott. That was from Michael.
That is correct.
Okay, cool. Okay. And I think Prima was just bringing up the point that Andrew did. Yes, Andrew, I have 13 email accounts between Google and Yahoo. Can I combine them like I do in mail? So the answer to that would be yes. Good. All right, let's see. How about, so can you compose an email with another account? Is it possible to do that?
So because I have my other accounts set up in Gmail as send as accounts, I can use that.
Directly from
I
inbox.
I just write the email, but I click on the from field to drop down and choose which
Nice.
address I'm
So you can
sending
do
it from.
great. You're getting all of your email in inbox, no matter which account it's coming from.
Correct.
Wow, that's really nice.
Right.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. All right, let's see here. I'm not going to keep everybody too long. We're at like, well, I don't know. We started at 9:15. Yeah, it hadn't been too bad. Anything else? One thing I do want to show them, if we can, real quick. Let me go back to my screen, and I want to show them this little button down here on the bottom right, the red button.
Okay. That's called an FAB.
FAB. Okay.
The floating action button. You'll see
There
that
we
in
go.
all the material design.
Okay. So a floating action button. And basically, these top three are people that I've recently emailed, or we have no idea why those three are picked.
From what we think, they're not. They won't tell us what's really happening. It's the
Right.
three that you most recently interacted with.
Okay.
Whether it's they sent you or you sent them. I've heard conflicting reports from people saying there are people in that list that they haven't connected with in over a year. So, I don't know.
And reminder,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously invite to inbox is not even necessary anymore because everybody can have access to it, correct?
Correct, but if you click on that, look how many invitations you have.
All right. I see.
They gave you 50 to send out to people to just tell them to start using it.
I see. I got you.
But we didn't show the reminders, which is neat.
Reminders, yes.
So you can create a reminder here and set it to a time or place, just like Google Keep reminders or Google Now reminders.
You can pick a date and time, or pick a place.
Right. And these will remind you in your inbox when you are either at that location at the time, just like a snoozed email.
And I tried that. I wanted to try that before we came in here today, just to see if it would work on my mobile phone. And I'm just gonna say, neither one of the reminders worked when I was near it. I wasn't in the parking lot. I was driving by, so maybe I wasn't close enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure the proximity.
Yeah, I don't know either. So, all right, let's see here. And to compose, same thing, right? Compose is basically the same. You still have the same features and functions down below, I would assume.
You don't have. You have very limited formatting. There's no
Wow.
color formatting. Very limited.
You can't insert an image. You can't do any of that stuff.
You can insert an image. You
Oh, you
can't
can?
paste an image. So if you attach an image using the
Okay.
the
Okay,
paperclip,
I got you.
it will put it. It'll embed it, but you'll have an option to change it to inline as an attachment instead.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So there are limitations there.
Correct. But there's workarounds. Everything there's a limitation. I've found workarounds for.
Okay. And I'm going to real quickly go over to the mobile so you can see that exact same thing. And let me shrink this down a little bit so you can see the red button, still the same features. You have that same thing there. So if I click on that, I still get those same things. That's interesting that it's different that time for the three people that I've been in contact with. That's interesting that it's the same.
Yeah, I thought they're supposed to be synced.
Yeah, one of them was different. So for whatever reason. But it is really nice that they're making it more consistent that way too.
Yeah.
I think. I like. And you have all the bundles the same way you do for over there, but it's done more mobile, kind of a mobile effect.
Now, if you they just released last night on mobile.
On mobile, okay.
Two widgets for inbox. They're very, very feature limited, widgets.
When you say two widgets, what are you talking about?
For your home screen.
Oh, okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Um,
I
they
don't know if
ba-
I can
I
come
don't
up
use
or not.
widgets very little, but they're one's a widget for uh, composing. It'll basically a shortcut to start composing an email, and the other is a shortcut for reminders.
I don't
You
see.
you don't have the new one.
Must not have it yet. Must
Yeah,
not have got the update or anything.
yeah, it just came out last night.
Yeah. Well, for me, last night.
APK Mirror has it if you want it.
I see. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's great. Okay,
Yeah.
let me go back to here in case we want to go back. All right, let's look out here real quick and see what else we got for questions. Andrew, you highlight. Okay, we got one. I'm going to pull this up. Scott DC inbox replacing Gmail within a year.
That's a great question and very timely question, Lori. Because I had a call today with the product team for inbox, and that
Probably
question
can't
came.
say too much.
Yeah, I can't say much, but that question did come up, and it's not on the radar.
Right, gotcha.
They understand that there's a lot of people who hate inbox
Right.
and are so ingrained in Gmail that
Yeah.
it would be
And I think
kind of mean.
you and I had this discussion too a little bit. I mean, I'm so used to it in business and how I organize and using the different labs and things like that, and the way I use it for organizing and things like that. I think that plays into that some. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
That is true, Lori.
Mark makes a great point. Let's see here. I love the Google Now and Inbox by Google reminder integration. Many things I have set a reminder for and forgotten about. Google Now will remind me because I used the Inbox by
Right.
Google Reminder.
Now Mark, that's great that you do that. They just released about 2 weeks ago. If you use Google Keep and you set reminders,
Yes.
the Google Keep reminders will show in Inbox. They I actually have a blog post on my blog because when Inbox first came out, it was like Google has reminders all over the place. And how do they work? Where do they show up? So I wrote a post about trying to make sense of all the different reminders in Google ecosystem.
Oh yeah. Makes
and
sense out
and
of
they're
any of that.
finally coming together into one. So like if you create a reminder in Google Now, it will show in Inbox. If you create a reminder using your Omnibox, which I'm not sure if a lot of you know that you can do that, it will show in Inbox. If you use Google Calendar on Android, all the Inbox reminders and Google Now, I think the Google Now reminders, I'm not 100% sure, will show in your Google Calendar on mobile, not on the widget, not
I
on
gotcha.
desktop.
Not on desktop, yeah.
I'm not really sure how they did that, where it shows just on mobile but not on desktop. But I'm also not a programmer, so it doesn't surprise me
Right,
that
exactly.
I don't know.
Well, I want to tell everybody too. I started following your collections kind of a way. One of the ways I found you when collections first came out, and this is Scott's collection. It's right here. This is what it looks like. Feel free to join that or get in that collection or start following Scott so you can have his collection available. And if you want, I'll put it inside this in the chat too.
Sure.
And
you can put the my blog, my website too. So
well, you can leave a comment with that if you want to. I'll just throw this in there real quick. Yeah, just put the link in there. Here is Scott's collection on G+.
It's a tough website that I came up with.
That's tough. Had to work on that one for a while, you say?
Yeah.
But I love that because the collections, it updates for me and I can see a new thing, or if you put something out there, a lot of times you share it with your collection as well as your blog posts, which I like that because I'm
Right.
in Google Plus. I'm in Google Plus probably 6 hours a day, 8 hours a day. So
Mm.
just depending between day and night and everything, it's pretty crazy with work. So good. This is all good stuff though. I love it. Let's see here. Anybody have anything else? I think we're coming up on 45 minutes.
There were some questions about the limits in Gmail and inbox.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the limit for how many accounts you can import, I want to say it's 5, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Would it be the same as Gmail or?
Whatever you can only set it up in Gmail, so
Okay,
it
so
would.
That's so.
Yeah, and Gmail used to have a limit of 6. I don't know whether that's still it or not.
I'm going to find out, and hopefully in 2 minutes if she sees my message. I just sent a message to one of the product people.
Yeah, that's right there. A lot of them are talking. Like you said, there was a lot of people asking about that one, the limits.
Right. I think I remember reading it was 5 recently.
Okay, that's good stuff.
And she's typing her message right now. So great. Not what I was hoping to hear. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
No, that's good stuff though. This is great. This is wonderful. I really do appreciate you doing this too, because this is the kind of stuff that we do in the user-to-user community.
Mm-hmm.
We just help each other out. I mean, it's very casual. We're all sitting here in a hangout, just watching and asking questions and things like that. I really do appreciate you helping us out
My
today.
pleasure. I appreciate you inviting me.
Oh
This
my
was
God,
fun.
I love it. No, I love it. It is. It's wonderful because, it's better to find people that kind of know what's going on or know the things that are that are questions a lot. I mean, a lot of times Google throws something out there. I'm sure you've never seen this before, but Google will throw something out there and nobody knows what to do with it or knows all the tricks.
Yeah, they kind of expect everybody to figure it out on their own.
Yeah, that's right. But I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm gonna end with some music and stuff, folks. Be sure and get with Scott. Again, I appreciate you coming on, Andrew. Thank you for doing comments with me and everything. As always, Andrew, I appreciate you and what you do, and we have a good time with our user-to-user community. So I'm glad the echo seemed to have gone away, but who knows? But I appreciate it, and with that, we will head out of here. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. That was it.